So what I want to do today, I want to have a little quick sort of product-y and focus video, because I've definitely over the past few weeks, we've just got back fishing 2-3 weeks ago since lockdown, and I've had a bit of a light bulb moment that I've had to have a bit of a shout at myself in the way I do bait, in that I'm always very, very fussy when it comes to, we'll talk about micro pellets, I mean, how I want my micro pellets to be perfect for every situation, and the amount of faffing about that I do to achieve that, you know what I mean, in the past, that it's cost me a lot of time, but I felt I needed to do that to produce the right product that I wanted. Since then, I must admit, I've been fishing half a dozen times while we've been on not allowed to match fish, while we've been on pleasure fishing time, let's call it, after the lockdown, and I've had to play with these. Yeah, I've had a couple of tubs of these in my garage for months, for 6 months they've been in there, and I always look at them and think, oh, they'll come in handy, I'll use them for something one day. And I took them out and I had a quick 3-hour chuck down at my mate's place. And how easy it is to prepare the pellets once they're already done for you. It's proper like open my eyes. You know what I mean? In years gone by, I spend literally hours, not so much at home, before a match, prepping me pellets right in the right way so they're perfect for either use on a feeder or depends how I want to feed them on a pole. And you mean, it can be quite a faffy task. These little bad boys, definitely, when I'm allowed to use them, they took away so much. Not took away, they prevent the waste of that time in the morning when I've only got an hour or X amount of time to get set up, be it a match or whether I want to get straight fishing, if I want a pleasure fishing session and I'm a bit keen. These, what I found that they do for me, they cut out half the prep time for me micro pellets. So instead of having to soften them and then decide which way I want them to go depending on what I use them for, by getting a bag of these, what we're going to call them, Method Ready Pellets, so forget about just method feeder, soft pellets I want to refer to them as. So I'm definitely been playing with these a little bit more, and I just want to go through how, again, that word, that versatile, how easy they are to use and how many different uses you can choose from a pellet that is already, I mean, ready to go, straight out the bag, straight out the box, and we're fishing straight away. So firstly, it brings itself, as it says on the tub, to meth feed fishing. So I mean, as a method pellet, I can literally put my feed, or I have been, I've had a few sneaky chucks already, and in the way that they're prepared already, they're already beautiful to go on the method feeder. Yeah, so I can squeeze them as hard as I want, make a lovely method feeder, and it's going to stick on my feeder, get to the bottom. So really, really easy, and you're not going to have any problems, and you're going to know your bait's on the feeder when it gets to the bottom, which for me, when it comes to method feeder pellets, that's the key point. It's where most people go wrong, in that thinking the pellets are going to get to the bottom because they look good, and they don't, just because they don't bind together enough. You can't squeeze them hard enough, and they don't break down when you do. Leading on for that, say it's lovely use for method feeder fishing, hybrid feeder fishing, whatever type of feeder, if you want to chuck it in a cage, they'll be ready to go. But also for me, for my pole fishing uses, what they do allow me to do straight away, again, no messing about, straight out the tub, I can make a lovely ball with them. And because they're the type of pellets that they are, I can literally squeeze them balls as compact as I want, really, really tight, so I can feed them in decent depths in sort of 5, 6, 7 foot of water. And because the balls can be so dense, they're going to get to the bottom, yet I know that no matter how hard I squeeze that ball, within reason, as long as I don't run my car over it, it's going to break down into individual pellets still, and I'm still going to have the pellets as I want them on the bottom, but I'm not going to have that spread of bait. I'm not going to have bait all the way through the water, because it's going to get down to the bottom in that one nice little big lump altogether. Lastly as well, so I've done plenty of videos on it, is when it comes down to edge fishing. I mean, I've faffed about loads and loads in times gone by with micro pellets, soaking them twice and making sure they're right for fishing down the edge straight away. With these, I can literally get a tub. I don't want to put a load of tub in this. So once you add water to them, you're going to spoil them, and then they won't last for X amount that they do in the present form. They're going to last for months and months without going off. So the last thing I want to do is add water to this tub. But if I chuck them in another tub, or chuck an amount in another tub, I can double wet them, make them nice and stodgy, and they make a beautiful pellet that's still, again, because of the way they are, they bind lovely, that sticks together, and I can feed them in my sloppy way that I like feeding them down the edge. So it's a massively, massively versatile pellet that really, really does save me lots and lots of time on the banks. And say my pellets are they're pretty much pre-done in many different situations, that they're straight to go ready out the tub, and I get a sneaky pack of hook baits, which, so for me, really, really versatile product that's phenomenal, and anything that saves me time, I always think it's a winner. So yeah, well worth a play with, just for ease of use, and they're brilliant for a bit of everything.